Now let us talk about the next lecture summary. So that is GDP versus GNP. So you can see that there is 1% of difference in the GDP and GNP for USA and 20% for Ireland. GDP is greater than GNP in 2003. For Switzerland it is 17%. There are two types of GDP. One is normal GDP, that is it is the measure of national output based on the current prices of goods and services. So it is called as money GDP. Problem is that higher prices but no increase in quantity can show that there is an increase in GDP. So how we come to know that there is increase in output or there is increase in the inflation rate? So for that we define for real GDP. So it is the measure of the quantity of final goods service produced obtained by eliminating the influence of the price group from the normal GDP. So the term real means the adjusted for inflation. For defining the growth rate, what we do, we actually use real GDP, not the nominal GDP. So here are some formula. National product at market prices indicates the total amount paid by the final purchaser of the output, whereas the national income at the factor cost measures the total amount earned by the factor of production for their contribution to the final output. So GDP at factor cost plus net NFIA equals to GNP at factor cost. And if we subtract GNP at factor cost and depreciation, we will get NNP at factor cost. So these are some formulas. You can find the definition by doing Google. So these are some formulas. You can see that GDP plus NFIA gives GNP, and if we subtract depreciation, so it will be NNP. And if we uh, minus corporate taxes plus transfer payments, then we will get personal incomes. And if we minus personal taxes from the GDP, we will get personal disposable income. So, and if we do NNP factor cost plus net, this is our net indirect taxes, we will get NNP at market price. So if we define disposable income, it is actually GDP plus NFA, which is GNP plus transfer payments minus taxes. And this disposable income is the consumption and sum of consumption and saving, or you can say that total income minus the taxes. So net business saving, you can say that they are for in business we can say the corporate profit minus the corporate profit taxes and minus the share of the partners. National income is GDP minus net indirect taxes. Disposable income is the total personal income minus personal taxes. It is a national account definition. Personal income minus personal current taxes, that gives us personal disposable income. So actually personal disposable income is personal income minus personal taxes and non-tax payments like health care and medical insurance, private pension fund and provident fund. So demand side of economy, if we talk about the GDP, is the basic formula of answer GDP. So considering closed economy, so this net export will be zero, and without government, government expenditure will be zero. So we will get saving equals to investment. With government, it will be C y minus C equals to I plus G. So we can say that if we add transfer payments and the taxes, so we can get this y plus tr minus tx. So this is that our personal disposable income. that is yd equals to c plus I plus g plus tr minus tx, and we can write disposable personal disposable income as consumption plus saving. So c will be cancelled down and we will get s minus I equals to g plus tr plus tr minus tx. So this is our saving investment gap. So if there is a budget deficit, means if we saving is there is a budget deficit, means government expenditures are more than what they are earning, means from the taxes. So we will get that saving will be greater than investment, and if there is a budget surplus, the saving will be less than the investment. And if there is balanced budget, we will get saving equals to income. So actually this equation is basically called as saving investment gap equals to twin deficit, in which this shows us the budget deficit if and this is greater, if this is greater than 0 there will be budget deficit, and if this is positive then it will be trade surplus, and if this is negative it will be budget surplus, and if this is negative it will be trade deficit. So you can see that saving investment gap, the Indian expenditure, this is the real data that has been shared. So these are some common terms that we have learned in HS 101, and if you don't know you should Google them and find the meaning of things. So I finish my summary here.